As someone who has never considered themselves to be good with money, you've decided to start being more responsible in that area of your life. So you've sought out a financial advisor. You're excited for your first meeting with them. After the pleasantries are out of the way, the two of you discuss your sources of income and how they fluctuate throughout the year. Next, the conversation turns to expenses. But the first expense that comes up is the biggest, most painful one of them all. That four-letter word, R-E-N-T, rent. And the financial advisor just skips over it without any real discussion. You're left wondering why they just skipped over it if rent plays such a big part in your financial budget. Why indeed. I'm Justin Pogue, and this is Renter Confidential. If you've been following the typical financial advice, rent should be no more than 30% of your income. However, given the recent increases in rent costs, especially in urban settings, many people are paying 40%, 50%, or even more of their income towards rent. In fact, according to the U.S. Census, half of all Americans are rent burdened, meaning they pay more than the recommended 30% of their income for housing. With rent being such a large expense, it can be confusing why a financial advisor may not address that issue. There are several reasons why they may skip the topic. The first reason they may not address your rent costs is that rent is considered to be a fixed expense. A fixed expense is a cost that doesn't change based on how much you use something. For example, if you have insurance on your car, the monthly cost of that insurance is the same every month, even if you were on vacation and didn't drive the car for the week you were gone. Typically, when a property is rented, you've signed a lease for 12 months, which means that the rent amount is constant for that 12-month period. But this isn't always the case. At the time you met with this advisor, you could already be getting close to your lease renewal date. Or you could be in a situation where your original lease term has already expired and the lease is now month to month. Alternatively, you could have negotiated a shorter lease term with your landlord. These are all very real possibilities. But the assumption that the rent is fixed may push them to focus more on optimizing your discretionary spending, such as shopping or dining out, where you have more control. The next reason is that changing your monthly rent may not be perceived as being as useful as increasing income or reducing debt. They might believe that reducing rent may not have the same long-term impact as other strategies when it comes to building wealth or achieving financial independence. However, this view is a bit short-sighted. The impact of negotiating lower rent could vastly improve your financial outlook depending on the type of rent reduction you're able to achieve. Personally, I've reduced the rent of some of my renters by hundreds of dollars for helping to show vacant units. Other renters have received discounts for taking on the landscaping or helping with repairs. In addition, extra income just doesn't appear overnight. It takes time to develop your product, brand, and reputation. Moreover, while paying down debt can be a good strategy, it also takes time for those lower monthly debt payments to be reflected in the monthly bottom line. But more importantly, these three opportunities to create financial breathing room and provide some much needed stress relief are not mutually exclusive. They can be used in parallel, all at the same time. So you can make the most of what you already have and grow for the future. We'll take a quick break here for our sponsor, Rental Secrets. This book has helped people save hundreds on their rent. The link is in the show notes below, and here's the trailer for this powerful book. America is in the grip of a housing crisis. There's evidence of it in nearly every city. 50% of U.S. households are having difficulty paying rent. And prices? Well, prices are on the rise.
Frustration has set in for those trying to make ends meet, and searching for a new place can be a daunting task. It can seem overwhelming. People believe that landlords have all the power. After all, they have what you need. But it isn't true. Yes, you heard correctly. It is not true. You have more power than you think. Inside the new book, Rental Secrets, you'll learn how to reduce your rent. Just imagine having a lower rent payment. Get better value for your money. Paying rent is a struggle. Shouldn't you get more out of each payment? How to negotiate with the right people. Who has the real power to negotiate? Take control of rent renewal conversations. After all, it's your money. And even how to get free rent. Yes, it is absolutely true. Free rent is real, and you can get it. All this and so much more is in Rental Secrets. Get your copy today at Amazon.com.
And we're back. Furthermore, your financial advisor may believe that the decision to reduce rent is not always within your control. There is a grain of truth to this, as location, market conditions, and lease agreements all play a role in limiting the options available for lowering rent payments. Furthermore, financial advisors typically don't have any knowledge or training on how to do this, which makes it easier to completely dismiss the opportunity. However, there are other aspects of the rental situation that are under your control. Understanding that landlords have pressures and problems that they must solve can provide you with some leverage when discussing rent costs. Landlords are competing with other properties in the area or even across town that may be newer, have more amenities, or come with better parking options. Use those market differences to negotiate, and you may find that your rent isn't going to end up being as high as advertised. More to the point, negotiating rent reduction requires developing an understanding of what your landlord might need, the pressures they are under, and what's going on in your specific neighborhood. Most financial advisors aren't looking to dig that deep into the weeds with you. Unfortunately, most want to give you a cookie-cutter set of strategies for you to follow without crafting a specific plan for you. In these cases, advisors may choose to focus on areas where they assume clients have more flexibility and potential for improvement. The next factor is the time horizon. If the advisor's only goal is to develop a plan that you can use immediately, then there's less of an opportunity to factor rent reduction into the plan they develop for you. However, if they take a longer-term view, then rent reduction can certainly play a major role in the plan. Recently, I was a guest on another podcast focused on helping people in the military community develop budgets and good money habits. During the interview, the podcast host said that he'd never considered the possibility that rent could be a place in the budget where people could find savings. All of the reasons we've discussed as to why financial advisors dismiss the rent expense as a place to save have to do with the financial advisor's mindset and thinking. They believe it's a fixed cost. They want to give you a one-size-fits-all solution and stay out of the details that could radically change your situation. They focus on giving you a short-term plan instead of looking just a little further out. There are many situations where reducing rent can indeed be a smart financial move. Creating a lower rent payment could provide much-needed breathing room in the budget. It can be very useful for those looking to save more towards a specific financial goal, such as buying a home or starting a business. The intention with all of my books and this podcast is not just to help you save money, but for you to get the most out of it. So incorporate rent savings into your financial plan. Don't just use it to buy a new pair of Jordan sneakers today. Put it in your plan so you can buy every Jordan sneaker that you want in the future. And if you're a financial advisor and would like to use rent reduction to help your clients move further faster, Leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. While rent reduction may not always be the first solution your financial advisor explores, it is certainly a tool that can be leveraged to improve your financial well-being. So don't just let them skip over it because of their preconceived notions. Incorporate it into your financial plan. Thanks for watching Renter Confidential. Happy apartment hunting. And remember, when it comes to renting, insider information is the best roommate you can ever have.